Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. So, today we have a special guest, and you guys know how much I love movies, so I'm kind of fangirling right now. Today we have the editor of Slumber Slash, Melanie Poros.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you. I'm so excited to, ask you all of my questions and get to know a little bit more about your film and what it was about and how you produced it.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Okay, so let's get into our first question. How did you integrate software and online technology into your project?
That's a really good question, but my team and I was the editor, so obviously this was, kind of my forte. Software and online wise, CapCut, huge software we used. It was actually the only editing app I used to edit the movie.
Wow.
It was pretty easy to use. It was my first time using it, but actually was saying this onto TikTok.
Yeah.
The things that I didn't know on how to use on CapCut, I went to TikTok, I searched up a tutorial, and it was right there for me to use. And it wasn't like I had to, be kind of a technology wizard, but it just made it all super easy. So CapCut was amazing, and it allowed me to extract audios, cut it, put in transitions, a fade, change the angle, change the tilt. I can integrate all these things I learned throughout the year into the movie through this app. And Safari too, images, the cover of the movie, which is, as you guys should know, is a moon with, it's an eerie moon because it has like the shadows around it and then the branches over it. And I got that from Google. So that was actually really cool.
Yes, that's very interesting. So another question I have, did you have any experience of using these technologies prior to this project?
Yeah, so like I said, I never used CapCut before. I had to download it and everything, freshly start. But I never edited anything. Obviously, when you're little and you do like class projects, your parents always help you. But this was the first time I ever edited fully a movie. I've had help before, but this is the first time I ever edited a movie fully through and through by myself. And it was actually super cool to notice my progress throughout what I could do and what I couldn't do. I was teaching my co-producers, Annalise and Melissa. I was telling them, you can do this on CapCut, especially now during this time where we have to edit it. I'm kind of guiding them in that way too.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And just to add on to that, what was the hardest technology to use?
That's a hard one because they were all pretty easy. I guess I'm gonna have to say CapCut because, like I said, I know how to use TikTok, I know how to use Safari, but it was the first one I used. It was easy to pick up, but those first initial, cutting of the clips and working my way around the app, it was tedious. It was tedious. I had to go back, obviously on TikTok, the tutorials. Also, I forgot to mention YouTube tutorials too, and I got some tutorials from there, how to cut and all these things. So that was probably the hardest part, especially when you kind of forget what you edited and the time changes, so you have to rewatch the whole thing through and through from beginning to end so you don't miss those little key things. That was super important because you don't want to edit it and then cut it out and then you go back and rewatch it and you missed a whole part. So that was really tedious. It took me quite a while to get.
Yeah, I bet it did. So what equipment did you use for your project, and what was your experience using them?
The equipment I used was, we used the cage. It was a black rectangular plastic material, and in the middle was had a grip to hold your phone where you could slide it for the sides of your phone. I don't know if you want to insert a picture now.
Yeah, I mean, just put it right there.
Okay, so that's what we used, and it was super easy to use. Like the back had a screw, super really quick. You could, and then the other thing we used was the tripod stick. Could also put another picture of that. It connected to the cage, so it was really great, honestly, because they came together. You could take it apart, move it around. For example, in our movie, we had when it was the killer's POV, the POV from behind the bushes to show that they're being watched. That was all being held to the cage. So you can move it up and down slowly to see the visuals of what the killer's looking at. We didn't use the tripod for that, obviously, because this was more like manually. But for other things like a close up or a wide shot, a medium shot, yeah, we used the tripod for that, and it works pretty well.
All right, that's very great. That's wonderful to learn more about your movie and your project and how it came to be. But that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem.